Hello, this is a video for try to explain how it works. The software of mlink is a typical software. So I think it's very easy to operate for everyone. We try to explain all functions. The first button usually says start or empezar in Spanish. The second button is the first button is used when we want to begin one profile. You need to be selected before. The second is explain to us in what part of the profile we are working in this moment for the machine, because every profile have 2, 3, 4, or 5 or 6 parts. We can see here in what state is now. Maybe the machine is stopped, or it's working, or it's in the preheat one. It's depending. Always shows here. The second button is keep or mantener in Spanish. This button is when we are in a profile, for example. The machine is, for example, we are beginning to make a PCR work in one chipset, and we see the chipset arrives to the correct temperature, and we need to remove the chipset. And as soon as the temperature go down, I think the best is you put keep, and the machine keep the temperature all time the same. And in this moment you can open and remove the chipset, for example. Also, this function is also good for cleaning. When you need to clean one chipset, usually the people need to use the preheat. The keep function makes you don't need to make a special profile for this. You can use any, and it's more easy. When you push again keep or mantener, the profile continues from the last moment. And the next button is stop or parar in Spanish. When you put it's easy to understand. When you push stop, the machine stops the profile. The machine stops, and the vacuum absorber begin to work, and also the cooling begin to work. The next button is actual data. This button is one button. Is very few machines have this type of function. I think you can see what is the actual data that you are using in your profile. But it's not only this. You can change the data on the fly without changes. You can change your profile in the middle of the working. No need to stop and begin. If you see some problems, or you need the temperature increase more quickly, or you need more time in the ramps, you can make any modification in the profile on the fly. But this modification is not saved after in the profile. It's only in this moment. It's only working. It's a temporal profile modification. This function is not available in any other machines. In the app, you can see the time that works the profile, and the second is the date and the time. But it's not. I think it's not important. This. And also here we can see some temperatures. The first temperature that we see is the target temperature of the top heater. Usually here always displays what is the expected temperature of the preheat heater, of the heater of top. Sorry. Here the second is the real temperature of the hot air inside the top. The green is the temperature of hot air from bottom, and here is the temperature of infrared heaters. And the last sensor is the temperature of our sensor that we can have in the machine. One sensor that we can use. After this is the main screen, and I think that's all. We begin with other options. We go to options, and in the options we can find four parts. One is exit or salir, is for go back to the same main screen. The second is profiles or settings. profiles is the screen that we can to begin to make the work, make our own profiles. Every profile can have until 6 parts, and we can select the temperature. So we have a temperature of top air, the time that we want to keep at this temperature when arrive, and how many degrees we need to increase every second. Sorry, that is bottom temperature of hot air, the time and that we want to keep when arrive, and at the speed of the temperature, how many degrees we want to increase every second. And the last is the same, the temperature of air, the time that we want to keep at this temperature, and the speed. This last is usually in the many machines only have a time or configuration for say at what speed we want to increase the temperature, because the heating elements are the very bad quality and cannot do it any configurations. Or machine can do some, is more powerful for this than others, and we can fill all this, and when we have finished one profile, we push here and put the name, for example LED. And we save, and now we have it. If you can see the list, we can select profiles, and we see the list of the profiles that we have. Save it in the machines, for example. We can move from next, and also every time that we need to use one profile, we need to select use. And also, if we want to read the copy of the profile in the machine, we select read, because we can make some modification here in the profile and then save, and we can return to the original selecting the read. I think that's all. For example, we select this. Now as the data is deleted, the anterior data, we have only a very few information here. Thing is that that's all for this. And the other part is the function of the vacuum sucker and refrigeration. This is a part a little bit special. Here we can control some functions. The first function is the vacuum. The vacuum absorber is we can push this button, and the machine the vacuum begin to work, or we push again and stop. We can make here the time that we want to work the vacuum when the profile finish. When the profile finish, usually the vacuum and the refrigeration is begin to work. We can select here the times. When we push, we can select the time, for example. Here is another function that is not available in other machines, like zoom out, shutter start, tension. Is that we can control the flux, the speed of the hot air fan. It's a digital system, and we can control. And here we can see the actual speed of the top hot air, top fan, and the down fan. But there is another surprise about this. You can see, okay, I show to you. Actually, we can see the actual speed of the fans. For example, what we can is this is at the top. We can modify this. You can see the speed is going down. But here is another option. Here. We can select the minimum speed of the fans. Why we need a minimum speed of the fans? If we have a limit, if some fans is broken or is working incorrectly, the machine sound one alarm that say to us is the machine is not working correctly. and stop the machine. Usually it's 180. This function is especially designated for protect the heating elements, because usually the price of heating elements is not cheap, and also it's a little bit complicated change, and with this you can save the never broke. Also, heating elements have another protection inside, but I think I need to disassemble the machine for explain. I think it's not necessary now. You can see the speed is rolling back. The max speed of these fans is usually 300 or 310. The last option is tidy settings. This is an option for adjustment of the machine if it's not working fine, or for example if you need to change some parts of the machine like a PLC or touch screen, maybe in this, or some if you need to change some sensors, maybe in some of these times you need to access here and make some modifications, but I think I need to explain in another video, because now I don't have a time for this. Okay, thank you for all. Bye.